Hello and welcome back to WK Stars Basketball Weekly. Dan Sheppard sitting in with the coach of the Stars once again, Coach Daniel Potts. Coach, this week we've only got wins to talk about.
Oh, no, that's why I'm smiling.
Saturday the 10th, you guys travel down to Dyersburg.
Yeah.
Tell me about that game.
Man, we added two new additions, Cam Chumler and Coach Kimbler's younger brother, Zach. And they were a big help. They were a big help. They were a huge help. We played unselfish. We attacked Dyersburg State, and of course, I knew you was going to bring up. We lost to them twice this year already.
Yeah.
And
it's difficult to beat somebody 3 times
it
anyway.
Is.
But I thought you guys really
played
played well.
we played them to the wire here at home, and they hit a last-second shot on us, and then we played them in a tournament. It was the last day that we were in that Pauper Thanksgiving tournament, and they got us pretty good. I think they beat us by almost 40. But we went down there.
That wasn't your best West weekend of play, though.
Oh, it wasn't, and we weren't really a team. We were a lot of individuals at the time. But this week, since we've been back from the break, I think everybody went home, got fresh, got their mind fresh, and they came into practice all week long with, hey, let's start over from zero right here in 2015, and let's get us a win. Let's try to go undefeated this year, you know. And that's our mentality right now, and it's very doable with this team. And I know me and Coach Kimbler and Coach Hill's been emphasizing unselfishness, make the extra pass. Don't take good shots, take great shots as a team. Be great teammates. You let us do the yelling and the pointing the fingers, and you all just play together. You pep each other up. And so far this semester, man, we've done everything that we could ask for from that group of kids. Right.
You played together, and I thought you were much more patient.
Yeah, a lot more patient than we ever have been. I think most of our field goals, we only shot, it says right here, 15 threes. And I think 2 of those were last-second threes, took it in the buzzers, That means we're getting the ball inside. That means we're attacking. We outshot them from the free throw line by 13. Jermaine Lee had a heck of a ball game. He was 12 for 13 on the field. Yeah. So that means he was getting to the bucket and making layups. And in our offense, we've really talked about our offense and curling more and using that action more. And our kids have really stepped up, played together. And we've talked about not going to the hole every single time, but picking and choosing when to go and knowing your game.
You got to keep the defense on their toes.
On their toes. You're exactly right. And know when to pick and choose when shooting a three or when driving. And our kids have really come along. I knew it'd take a little bit longer than normal. I mean, heck, we had 13 new kids to start the season off. And now, even, I don't care if it's the 19th game, at least they're starting to click, At least they're starting to click. They're starting to understand what I want and what Coach Kimbler's wanting and Coach Hill's wanting, and they're doing it collectively as a team. Right. And the best part, since we've came back from this break, is they're keeping each other accountable for their own actions. If say, for instance, Ben Deradoy's not going hard, somebody's letting him know, pick it up. And that's what we need as a team right there. Everybody keep each other accountable for their actions and what they do.
Another player you added, not really on the bench yet, but he ran camera for us this last game, Pablo.
Yeah, well, I know we talked about Pablo before the season started, and man, as much of a talent he is, he's a great kid as well. I picked him up January 6th. He came back in from Brazil, picked him up over here at the airport. And very first thing he said before we left on that trip, said, "Coach, is there anything I need to do? Do you want me to film?" He volunteered to film, and he's the one that filmed this ball game. Did a great job. And you can hear him coaching even on there when we're watching the film.
I was hoping he might be able to shoot Tuesday night. I was going to ask you about that later.
Yeah,
but I'll get to that.
for sure. But we're glad to have him back. We're glad to have Cam and Zach Kimbler. They've been a big part of our win on Saturday, and we're just going to keep getting better as a team. And another kid I want to talk about that just came in from Venezuela, Kilder Gonzalez. He actually played for Campbellsville only 1 game, and so it didn't use any of his eligibility, so we're going to have him for 2 years. But he came in, and his first day of practice was yesterday. And he's about 6'6". He's really strong, athletic kid. Can shoot it a little bit, too.
Seems like somebody you could use.
Definitely somebody we can use, and a great kid at that, too. So we're excited about him. He'll probably play the next game for us and see what he's got. So I'm excited about this second half.
Sounds good, Coach. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about the Dyersburg State game. You're watching WK Stars Basketball Weekly. Welcome back into WK Stars Basketball Weekly. Dan Sheppard sitting here with the coach of the Stars, Daniel Potts. Coach, Dyersburg State, we've got video of this game coming up.
Let's get in these highlights. I like talking about wins, Dan.
Right. I know you do.
Yeah, we started off the game a little slow. I think they even got off to a 13-4 start on us. But the first 10 minutes of this ball game, we didn't play up to our potential. The last 30 minutes, we dominated this ball game. We dominated on, we only gave up 58 points for the total a game. Our defense was on point. That's the first thing. When we got back from the break, I wanted to hit hard. After watching film over and over on the break, I was like, man, we got to get better in our help defense.
Right.
And my gosh, we did. We had to get better in our guarding the post too, and Zach really helped
Yes.
on that.
That's one of the few charges I remember anybody taking all year.
Yeah,
right
and he
there.
took it on the chin right there
Yes,
too.
he did.
That guy was full floor at him, and he took one. Hey, they played a little zone against us, and this is maybe my fault. I didn't go over any zone on the days they came back, but our kids stepped up and played well. Chase hits a great shot right here.
Well, you're just getting the holes on a zone.
Yeah.
What more do you need to know?
Right, exactly. Put the ball in the hole. But of course, we went over a lot of zone offenses and things like that since back from the break there.
It's a great take right
Yes,
there.
sure is.
Mr. Overstreet.
That's one thing we want him doing more of. He's going to be on the show here in a few minutes. But Don's been a great kid, great player for us this year. Can't wait to have him for next year as well. Great pass right there by Chase.
In traffic, too.
Jermaine has great hands. I mean, that's just one thing that kid was blessed. He's got soft hands,
There's some more
catches just
hands
about
right there.
everything.
Chase Clark.
Our
with
guy,
the
I
steal.
tell you what though, our guys really set him up for easy buckets. I mean, we all know Jermaine can play the game. I mean, Jermaine's been our probably most effective scorer all year long, and our guys know that. And but they set him up by penetration and always looking for him because he does have great hands and he does finish pretty well at the rim. That's a great shot right there. That's Don coming off, squaring up 1-2 and knocking that thing down. Our spacing was a lot better, I thought.
Yes. Yes. I was going to bring that up.
Great pop. Tarkus played a heck of a ball game. I think he had around 10 points or so. Played a great ball game.
Seemed like you played a lot of players too, and they all played well while they were out there.
We played 10 guys. We played all the guys that were there for us, and each one of them had at least 10 minutes. So, and the thing that's been different about this team, even after the win on Saturday. Ben Daredor, he's been one of our consistent scorers all year. He didn't score 1 point, and he was just smiling from face to face. He wasn't down on himself because he didn't score any or didn't play well. He was happy that the team won. You know.
Well, when you have guys that have to score 30 points in a game, it's really hard to win unless you can spread those points out.
Right. They got help defense by Jermaine right there. Then Zach helped over right there. That's what I'm talking about as far as our help defense. Gotten a ton better since the break, since we've been back. Kevin helping out on D. Zach digging right there. We're in perfect position.
Did really well on defense.
We're in perfect position everywhere right there.
One of his best defensive games I remember him having.
Yeah, I agree. Pedro right here, man. Pedro just knows he's always around the ball. He even for his size, he even had 5. Yeah, he even had 5 rebounds. And then look at this unselfishness right here. Zach could have took it, but he sees Jermaine down low.
Right. He could have took 2 shots right there.
Sure could have. But we were patient. We worked the ball around to get great shots. I love it. Help defense again. Number 23 there. He was actually in the top 5 in scoring probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago for Dyersburg State. He was averaging around 24, 23 points a game. We held him to 10 points.
Nice.
Mr. Davidson right there. We had him to 10 points. He was 2 for 17 on the field. So our defense on him, we really keyed in him in our practices and things like that. And it turned out to be a good deal for us. Chase did well of managing. Him and Pedro both did well of taking the point guard and picking and choosing when to drive. When they're getting pressured like that, they got to drive. They got to make somebody get that pressure off of them, so to speak, and make them pick them up, make them guard them. And we were still unselfish right here. They played zone, and then all of a sudden they were playing man. Then all of a sudden they went zone, and
Right.
took us a little bit longer than I like for us to recognize that. But I like Tarkus running the baseline right there, knocking that J down right there.
That's a good defense right there, keeping the big
Sure
guy out
was.
of there.
That's the main thing in our offense right here, or in our defense. We want to keep the ball out of the paint.
I love this right here. Tarkus
Yeah.
takes that shot, and it comes off the side of the backboard.
He
He
still
follows
stays
the shot,
with it.
stays with it, and gets the bucket.
I think the other coach took a timeout at the time. I said, brush that off, my man, brush that off. Nice little float there by Don. We got to get him attacking that basket a lot more. And like I said, he's shooting around 80% from the free throw line. Got to get him going more to the free throw line. Feel very confident in Don's ability to make free throws. See what I'm saying? Jermaine's running the floor. He's getting easy buckets, but our guys are looking for Jermaine too. They're making it easy
Right.
on us. And like I said, we shot a lot of layups. I mean, looking at those highlights right there wasn't too many threes. Mostly layups and attacking the basket, and proud of our guys for that.
You're up 12 here at halftime.
12 at the half, 42 to 30. Telling our guys that we just need to keep pushing this thing out, keep pushing it out.
And on the road, it's sometimes difficult to push that lead out.
Correct. This is a great take by Zach right there. Great take. Once he gets more into shape,
Right.
we'll see a lot more of that consistently from Zach. But Zach did a great job on help defense boxing out.
Look at that box out
Yeah.
there.
By Zach, are you looking at Zach right
Yes,
there pushing
yes.
him out? Yeah. Great head up by Cam right there. Good finish by Kev.
Yeah, that was maybe the only thing I saw that you were lacking in this game. There's a few times when I thought people could have done a better job boxing out.
Yeah, and a stat on here that I hate to bring up, but they had 18 offensive rebounds.
Right.
18 offensive rebounds. We still out-rebound them, crazy to say, by 7. But we gotta not let them have but one opportunity at the basket. Jermaine was just, I mean, there's no denying that kid. He had 31 points and 14 rebounds, Jermaine did.
Great pass. right
Great
there.
pass. Again, he's setting him up for an easy 2. And Jermaine, you get him on that block right there, he's going to score every time. Patient in our offense right here, popping around, moving it around. It's our space. We're spacing the floor, absolutely superb. And we're getting an easy shot right there. That's a big bucket. Everything that we preach. They did make a little run on us. I think we were up at 15
Right.
at the start of the, at the front of the second half right there. Then we kind of got lackadaisical, and they cut it within 5. And then of our guy, that was a great shot, a great ball movement there by Jermaine. Cam's a great 3-point. He struggled this game, but we're going to see a lot of great things from Cam Chumber.
And that shot right there was a pretty crucial time. You're talking about
Very
that
crucial
run.
time. Yeah, you're exactly right, Dan. I think we were only up by 5 or 6, and then Cam hit that 3 right there, made it a 9-10 point game. Thought Pedro really played well. I think he started off a little rusty, and then I think he played really well after that.
You can hear Pablo coaching from the camera position back there.
It's awesome to hear that, because Pablo is one of those energy guys too. I'd love to have him in the games and for that energy, especially at the first of the season. But we're excited about having that kid back. That was a great recognition by our guys right there. We went 41, and I saw Chase down in the post, and I was like, oh, he's my point guard in the post. And all of a sudden, I see the little guy, and it was like,
Right.
great.
Yeah,
They're finally
great thinking.
Yeah, they're reacting instead of thinking.
He can post up
Oh, yeah.
on
Chase
somebody
is
smaller
every
than him.
bit of 6'3" and 190, 195.
He's solid.
Built very solid. And Chase now is now just getting back in his normal self, where he took off a year. It takes a while to get back into shape, basketball shape. Great look by Cam.
Goodness.
Cam had 4 assists on the game, 3 rebounds, and he just had 3 points. But again, Cam's shot's going to come around his flow in our offense and the way we do things is going to come around. And, I'm excited about having him. I think Zach, I want to talk about Zach Kimbler more. Zach had 10 rebounds this ball game. I mean,
Wow.
he was putting his tail on
And
some
really
guys.
his first game.
Oh,
back.
yeah. First game back, and since he played at Grace County his senior year, his last game, And these guys for Dyersburg State were 6'5", 6'6", and athletic.
Right.
And, we talked about cutting them down, getting low, cutting
He
them down,
does.
backing them out.
He certainly does.
And, Zach had 10 rebounds. E-Man, I thought, played well.
Yes.
Emmanuel Abbott, he had 5 crucial rebounds in the ball game. And Pedro and Chase did what they needed to do and run the ball club. And Kevin Welch knows our offense very well, and he runs it superb.
Amazing.
But proud of our guys. I thought we were aggressive. Thought we attacked against them. I thought we played together. And I can't speak more about this second half of our team here.
The teamwork.
Yeah.
You look like much more like a team in this game than you have in previous games.
Right. Now, I'm proud of our guys.
I'll tell you what else. I thought the crowd at times seemed like you had a little advantage on the crowd down there.
We had more people there than they did, and so that was exciting to see. I think people. I don't know if the break just let everybody get fresh or whatever. I know it helped me get fresh a little bit. After a tough first half. I think we're going to have a great second half. So
all right,
I'm proud of them.
Thanks a lot, Coach. We'll kick you out of this seat, and when we come back, we'll be talking with guard Donald Overstreet II. You're watching West Kentucky Stars Basketball Weekly. Hello and welcome back to WK Stars Basketball Weekly. Dan Sheppard sitting in here now with Donald Overstreet II.
Yeah.
He's a freshman for the Stars here in his first year. Where'd you go to high school?
Paducah Tillman.
Went to Tillman, local guy here. And what's your major here?
Kinesiology, physical therapist. That's what I'm going for.
All right. Well, that's a good works well if you're in basketball.
Yeah.
That tends to work out well. What's your biggest influence, or who is your biggest influence?
I would say my family, really my dad. He taught me a lot about life and all things like that.
Right, he's one of your biggest fans too. I see him quite a bit here. See him quite a bit. So how did you learn about the game of basketball?
I watched my dad play ball, old highlights. We used to sit down and watch Pistol Pete, Earl to Pearl, a lot of old school films and stuff.
Speaking of your dad, he played basketball at Murray State and played for Steve Newton, played with a guy named Popeye Jones that most people will be familiar with. Tell me about your relationship with your dad.
He's my hardest critic. He's like my best friend at times. Yeah, we got a good relationship.
Mm-hmm. How well you think classes are going this year?
Classes are going good. Like I went to Tillman. We focus more on education a lot. So
right, your GPA is pretty high, I understand. Yeah. You've got the highest GPA on the team, I believe. How do you manage your time between basketball and studying?
Whatever little time I get, I try to get to my studies.
Right. What made you fall in love with this game of basketball?
Just watched my dad play. University of Louisville. I watched a lot of that.
Because you're wearing
I'm a Louisville fan.
Sporting Day.
Yeah.
How do you think they'll do this weekend?
I think they'll win.
They
In any game, I think they're going to win.
Right.
Yeah.
They got a tough game coming up.
Yeah.
I know Coach Potts is a big Duke fan. Y'all gonna go watch the game together or anything?
Yeah, if he wants to, yeah, he can.
How's it different practicing? How are games different from at Tillman than they are here at the collegiate level?
Practice is more quicker. The games, high school game, there's no shot clock.
Right.
So you can hold the ball, you can stall. I'd say the players are faster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that's
bigger.
Yeah, bigger.
Stronger.
Yeah.
All that. What's one of your biggest improvements you think you've had since you joined the club here?
I think decision making and better ball handling. That's what I believe.
What do you think about Coach Potts? How does he challenge you every day?
He challenged me to become more of a vocal leader, drive the ball to the rim more. He's a good coach.
Right, because when I think of you on the court, talking about being a vocal leader, earlier in the year, I would say you were a quiet leader.
Yeah.
You know, you were a leader. You're a point guard out there. You don't necessarily score a lot of points, which I think you're certainly capable of doing.
Yeah.
But your defense, you're excellent playing defense, and excellent job leading the team. What's your message to your teammates going out in this second half of the season?
I would say everyone, we need to play together. You know, this is a family thing. We're all a team. We need to believe that we can be successful and we can achieve it.
Right. I thought you guys did really well at the Dyersburg game, doing that thing, playing as a team. You looked so much better in that game than you had, certainly the first two times you played them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What motivates you to play so hard at this level?
College basketball was always a dream for me. And any little chance I get, I try to play as hard as I can.
Right.
There's just a lot of people out there that can't play, because they have physical abilities that they can't.
Mm-hmm. Right. Do you have any goals, or you have any team goals you're looking to meet the next half?
I would say get my assist up, score, bet the ball better, drive to the rim, get to the free throw line, stuff like that.
All right. Thanks, Don.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Good to have you here on the show. When we come back on WK Stars Basketball Weekly, we're going to have the coach, Daniel Potts. Stay tuned. Welcome back to WK Stars Basketball Weekly. Dan Sheppard sitting in once again with Daniel Potts. Coach, this week coming up, you've got to travel up to E-Town. What are they going to throw at you?
Well, they'll throw a little bit of a 2-3 zone at us. They'll throw a little bit of 2-3, and they play a little bit of man. They got a great player by the name of Kyle Bryant. He's averaging in the upper 20s. He's a tough little guy. I mean, I think he played at Vincennes last year. Of course, Vincennes is number one in the country at the junior college level, and I guess he came back home to be around family and things like that. But he played for a great coach in Todd Franklin at Vincennes, and he's played against a lot of great competition. even in practice. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So he's going to be a tough guard for us to handle. He only stands about 5'10", 5'11", but very heady, very quick, can shoot the three, can light it up, can really get going. I think one game this year he had around over 40 points in a game.
Grief.
So he'll be a tough task for us to handle, but the Davidson kid from Dyersburg State was a really good scorer too, and Don and a couple of our guys, Pedro.
You got a few you can throw at him.
Right. Well, we got Don we can throw at him, Tarkus, Pedro we can throw at him. So we'll mix it up with him, keep a fresh body on him, and hopefully we can keep his scoring down to a minimum. And then we go to Lindsey Wilson. We got a Lindsey Wilson. It's our first home game back.
Right, they're coming up here on Tuesday night.
Yeah, they're coming up here January 20th.
Right.
Up here, first home game back in 2015, and they're going to be scrappy. They're going to be gritty and things of that nature. They're going to play hard, and we're just going to have to run our offense, be patient, box out, do the little things that matter. All 50-50 balls. That's one thing I'm going to hit both games right there. We got to get all the 50-50 balls, and those balls are ones that are on the floor that we can dive after.
Right.
And chase down if it's a long rebound. We got to chase those down. And I'm proud of our team. I'm proud of where we are right now in the second half. And I'm excited to see what the outcome of this going to be in this week.
I'm excited about.
And another
this
thing,
week.
I know you just interviewed Don and talked about his father a little bit. Don's father's been a crutch for me to lean on this year. We've had a rough season throughout the first half, and he's one that I went to, and I was like, man, I need your advice. And I know he's played a lot of ball. He's got a lot of knowledge for basketball, as Don talked about. And I just wanted to bring that up. He was the one guy that I leaned on, crutched when I needed somebody to talk to. And he's been a great advocate for me.
He's a good guy. He's a big fan of the program,
yes, he
too.
is. Yeah,
big supporter. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. You have been watching WK Stars Basketball Weekly.